Welcome, listeners, to another great episode of Two Beers and a Mic. Today, we have a very special guest, the man that not only is the brewmaster, but the owner, but the mama,
The legend.
the mama and the papa.
The mama and the papa.
Absolutely. We have Wim Bens here from Lakewood Brewing Company here in Dallas, Texas. Say hi to the folks, Wim.
Hi to the folks, Wim.
There we go.
Yeah, can we get a round of applause for old Wim?
Yeah, let's get a round of applause. We got it going? We got it going?
Look at him.
Heck yeah. I wish we could hear the round of applause.
I know.
Because Two Beers and a Mic was filmed in front of a live studio audience. This is another great episode of Two Beers and a Mic. Here we go.
Hey, guys.
How you doing there, buds?
Oh, so great. Here with our buddy Wim today, man. He's allowed us to come hang out with him for about an hour of his very precious time. And, yeah, we're giving the guy over here in the side eye the look just because.
Right.
He's
Clocking out.
Exactly.
He said, bye, Felicia.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
So here we are with Wim. Wim, how's your day going?
That's pretty good. It's Friday.
It's right.
Yeah, dude.
Which is just the start to your week, right?
It's the end.
Is it?
It's the end, yes.
I figured the weekends
Thank
for you
goodness.
brewers would be the highlight of the week. No?
For the tap room, definitely.
Yeah.
But, production's done, so now we get
awesome.
to recover.
Heck yeah.
You got a voice for radio.
That's what I was just
Anyone
about to say. He's got the perfect radio voice.
Yeah, perfect.
This
Perfect
is
radio.
Wim.
People always tell me I have a perfect radio face.
Same.
Does that make sense?
My mom told me that growing up, but I didn't know.
Well,
It's all good.
it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
We did get to try. This episode will be released after this beer is released, but we did get to try is it this one right here?
Yep.
The Sunburst from Lakewood Brewing. And let me tell you, we will be doing, it's a burst of sun. We will be doing a live review with not only one, but two beers. And we're just going to try another one because guess what? They put new hops in it, or they upgraded the hops in it. So we're going to try it again. The Goddess Hazy India Pale Ale. But today we're going to be doing the Sunburst, the Stubbs Texas Pills, and the Goddess Hazy India Pale Ale. So a threesome today is what we like to call it. Pause. Absolutely.
It's okay.
Wim, we do have a couple questions for you first.
Shoot.
Get to...
Not an interrogation. Don't get nervous.
No,
Don't get sweaty. It's okay.
These are mostly questions that we printed out on paper. Real popular.
There you go.
Real fancy. But just a couple questions that we wanted to ask you. Feel how, talk about how you came to be this monster success in a city, a big city like Dallas. I mean, my God.
Yeah, no joke.
Do you know the DFW area has more population than 36 states? So
There you go.
if
Crazy.
you can take over this market or at least be a part of it, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
No joke.
But why don't you just start us off? Tell us about you. Tell us about your journey to become head brewmaster here at Lakewood Brewing.
My journey. My beer journey started at birth.
Sick.
So I was born in Belgium, and if you've ever heard of Belgium,
That's where
you know
actually
they
a lot
make
of our
a couple of
viewers were
things.
from.
That's
Yeah.
what's crazy. When we first started, I think like 30% of our viewers from Belgium for some
nice.
reason.
No joke.
So,
Seriously, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, continue. Sorry.
That's awesome. So born in Belgium, and moved to sunny Texas in 1985. So to Mansfield, Texas. Population at that time was, I think, like 4,000 or 6,000 people.
I thought you were gonna say 4 or 12.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. There was a Winn-Dixie and a Safeway and I think a Walmart.
Gotta love a good stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Over here?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. So beer wise, I was exposed to beer culture from a very young age. We'd go and visit the family over summer breaks, and the sort of the unsaid rule is if you're tall enough to reach the bar, you're tall enough to drink in Belgium.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I think 16 is the legal drinking age. They may have upped it to 18, but
Nice.
it's not very enforced. So
That's okay.
definitely was doing some drinking before legal age.
Yeah.
Not to excess, but at least got to try a bunch of great beers. So.
Absolutely.
Fast forward, went to SMU here in Dallas, And
how'd you get there? How'd you decide SMU?
I was accepted.
Okay, fair.
I was accepted at SMU and TCU, and TCU was just a little
pony up, didn't you?
It was a little too close to home, I guess.
You need to get a little bit farther.
A little bit farther, like 10 minutes farther.
Right.
I don't want to come home every weekend.
Yeah, most weekends.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And graduated with a marketing degree from SMU, and then, just did the whole after college thing. And actually, you know what? Let me back up. On my 21st birthday, so still in college. On my 21st birthday, I went to the Flying Saucer on Lower Greenville. It's not there. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't heard of that one yet.
And I think it was a Sunday night, and I went in there at midnight so I was legally 21.
Yep.
Yeah.
And had some Belgian beers. And, at that time, and this was in 98, 99. This was in 99. Craft beer hadn't really taken off. You had your Sierra Nevadas, obviously, New Belgium, Sam Adams.
Fat Tire.
Yep. And, really most of the beers were still imports.
Right.
Which was great because I got to drink beers that I knew from going, back to Belgium every summer.
Right.
So that kind of started my craft beer journey, I guess. As most people do, you start as an enjoyer or a partaker of craft beer.
Yeah.
And tried all the beers on the wall, got my plate, did the whole thing. A buddy of mine got a home brewing kit, tried that, made horrible beer. Horrible beer.
Could you kind of describe what that first beer that you brewed tasted like coming out of your homemade?
It was rough. Well, I didn't make that one. My buddy made that one.
Okay.
But it was not good. It was not good. Like barely drinkable.
Fair.
And then I moved into a house in East Dallas in like 2002, 2003, and had room, right? Had a kitchen. Later had a garage, so had room to do things that you don't really do in an apartment. So with roommates, so started getting into home brewing, and for me, the reason I got into it was just to save a little money, which honestly you're not really saving that much money with all the equipment and stuff. It's a slippery slope, but it was fun. You get to learn about beer, you get to try different styles, you get to know the ingredients, know what's going in it, and I think one of the first beers I made was a raspberry wit, and it was great.
Yeah,
it was great. It was an extract. It wasn't all grain, but that one was memorable enough to go, oh, okay,
I'm pretty good.
This is pretty good.
Yeah.
So I just kept doing that for years and years, and eventually started entering competitions. Won a bunch of awards at Bluebonnet. Then entered the.
For those that don't know, what is Bluebonnet?
Bluebonnet. So Bluebonnet's one of the biggest home brewing competitions in the U.S. It is held every year here in North Texas.
Very cool.
They only accept homebrews?
It's only homebrewers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Wow. And then if you win a gold, you can then enter into the national competition for that category.
How does a judge or someone who's overseeing that event know? Like, how would they know that you didn't pop in from your factory and enter? Is it just like someone of your caliber now would be like, I don't want to that's not something you would even indulge in?
No, I mean no, that's just it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, really, dude?
I don't have much to gain from winning a homebrew competition.
Yeah.
So, so I mean, it was really fun. Made a lot of really cool beers, and then survived 2008 with the downturn and the housing market and all that, and I was working in the advertising industry for over 10 years, and then in somewhere around 2009, I was like, you know what? I want to get, an education in brewing.
Yeah.
So I applied to the American Brewers Guild, which was one of 3 schools in the U.S. at the time that had any sort of brewing program. It was American Brewers Guild, Siebel, and then UC Davis had a degree in fermentation, but that was a 4-year degree. This was a brewer and brewing engineering certification.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it was remote.
Oh, sick.
On DVDs.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's like how I got my license.
Oh, we weren't even streaming back then. No, we would have a weekly. Man, it wasn't a Zoom call because it didn't exist. It was audio only.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think
Netflix was showing up in the mailbox.
I think it was like through some messenger app or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Long story short, I forgot I had applied. And then about a year, because there's a long waiting list.
Really?
Really long waiting list,
Okay.
yeah. Because craft beer was starting to take off. There wasn't a whole lot of places to get an education. So, they had a lot of applicants. I mean, you had to submit, an essay. You had to submit your college transcripts. What books are you reading on beer? What are your, what are some of your homebrew recipes? Like they weren't just taking anybody who could fork over the money, right? So did that, went up there. Coincidentally, Michael Pedicolis was also in my graduating class at the American Brewers Guild. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Stopped my, career sort of dead in its tracks.
Yeah.
And, went over the wall and decided to go full bore into beer. So I did my apprenticeship at RAR, which was one of only 2 breweries in North Texas.
Really?
At that time. So that
Are
was
they still around?
That was 2011. Yep. RAR's out in Fort Worth. And then the other brewery that was around then was Franconia up in McKinney.
Okay. Do you still keep in touch with those guys?
Yeah, with the RAR guys, sure. Absolutely.
Very cool.
And a lot of those brewers have like moved on to other places and stuff, but I think that when you have your first job in a brewery or a brew pub or whatever, it's a pretty special thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was completely different than what I was doing. I mean, I was a graphic designer. I was behind a desk.
Right.
So I mean, I was scrubbing tanks and getting dirty and working in the cold. And I mean, I started in the middle of December.
Yikes.
So it was a completely different experience. And when you're when you're in the shit together, you create some really good bonds with with the guys that you're working with.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
For sure.
So yes, I do still keep in contact with those guys. So which is great.
Very cool.
So once I finished my apprenticeship, I stayed on there a little bit longer, and then about right when I started my apprenticeship, so I quit my job, started my apprenticeship. We found out we were pregnant with our first child. So
Nice.
with my wife being the breadwinner at the time, and me making low digit hourly wages,
Right.
and driving to Fort Worth every day and spending most of it on gas. We just kind of said, hey, let's do something over here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There were rumblings of a lot of different organizations or a lot of different groups of people like trying to start a brewery. Michael was starting his place. Deep Ellum was starting their place. We started. We're sort of that first wave in 2011, 2012 of craft breweries that opened up, here in North Texas after being pretty much a barren landscape for a very long time.
Yeah. So the market was just kind of there for the taking.
Yeah. So we got right after it and put a business plan together. Started looking for real estate. My son was born. I was stay-at-home dad, and my wife went back to work. So he came with me in the baby carrier to look at dusty warehouses all over the city, and planning meetings and zoning meetings and all that stuff.
Very cool.
So we finally found this building. We found our home at 2302 Executive Drive in Garland.
Hit them up.
Yep. And so the room that we're sitting in right now, this is part of the original building, and this was a carpet warehouse.
Yeah.
So it was very dusty. The previous owner had been smoking cigarettes in here for about 30 years.
Love it.
So everything was just
Leaves a sour
nicotine.
smell to the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stings the nostrils.
Just a little
It
bit.
actually inspired my first beer.
Yeah. So
Something to offset.
took posters off the wall, and there was the outline of just nicotine stained
Oh, yeah.
paint.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
yeah. So the first while was transforming this room into our first tasting room.
Okay.
While the heavy machinery was in the back, and they were digging up floors to put in drains, and laying a couple of miles of electrical and upgrading everything and
Golly.
getting it all done. And then brewing equipment came in late spring in 2012. We brewed our first 2 batches in end of June, early July of 12. That was Rock Rider, which was our American rye wheat, and Hop Trap, which was our Belgian IPA.
Nice.
Both of which we no longer make.
Oh.
Do you have like a bottle that you keep on the shelf or something of your first?
No, we still have the recipe, and
Yeah.
every once in a while we'll brew a little batch on the pilot system.
Nice.
Okay.
So so that's fun. Beers are retired; they're not dead, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
They can always come out of retirement. So yeah, and then we tapped our first keg at Good Friends right down the street,
Yeah.
and we were off to the races. So August 4th, first day we tapped a keg.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's cool. Well, all this talking about beers making me thirsty. Should we go ahead and try one of these
Absolutely.
beer?
I believe so.
Which one are you thinking?
man.
Stubbs, since Stub and Stubby over here.
do
I
Stub
think
and
you
Stubby.
should start with Stubbs.
All right, let's do it.
These are not the coldest.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great beer, no fuss.
Great beer, no fuss, man.
Texas Pils. One of our favorite things that we always see on your beers. I don't see it on this one in particular, but I do see it on the Sunburst. We see it on the Goddess. The pairs well with.
Yeah.
We do love that.
Yeah.
What does this pair well with?
It pairs well with Texas.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
That's a cheers.
You know
to
what?
that.
Should we sing that song real quick?
Right.
Should we say the Texas Pledge of Allegiance real quick?
Right.
Right.
Goodness gracious.
Pledge
right.
allegiance
I
to
mean, this
the-
is a very cool can. I mean, first looks at it, I mean, it's got a wood grain background, just very, very sleek looking, very
Absolutely.
like classic, like one that you would see like a wealthy, like old man drinking almost.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a man who, like, not a dude that's smoking shit cigars, but one of those dudes that's got a fine Cuban. That's that's like the wrapping, like the gold wrapping.
Oh yeah,
You know
like
what
a
I
little
mean?
cigar band. Yeah,
This is-
I can see that.
This is not for the man with $1 in his pocket. It's a man with at least $3 in his pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
So, ironically,
Okay.
this is going to be one of our lowest priced beers to consumers. So,
Really?
Yeah.
see, so you can look
Yeah,
wealthy
we're
without
shooting
having
for
to be wealthy.
we're shooting for an $8.99 6-pack. So
Holy crap!
Yeah.
that's
That's
cheaper
insane.
than Coors, Michelob, Miller.
it's about the same.
That's about the same.
It's about the same.
Michelob's
Dude.
what?
Yeah.
$10?
Yeah.
$10.99 for a six-pack
six-pack.
of bottles.
Bottles.
I don't
12
know.
ounces?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
How are y'all able to do that? Just in the
Just
what you used.
just take it in the teeth, basically.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, what we like to do is for all you, we call them the ASMRs out there, the ASMRs, the audio, blah 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 blah.
Oh,
This is for you. That gave good pop.
That was a nice long crack.
That's a
You
good
know what I'm
pop.
saying?
And then Stone likes to pour it in the glass and make that. You
I don't know
what
if
I'm
it'll
saying?
do it. You think it will?
Probably will.
Excellent.
Oh yeah. So that beer gives a good head.
See, and the problem is that's an awful pour though, according to what I'm
Been
always
told.
told.
Okay, I've heard 2 different things now. So like
Yeah.
what? Tell me if you know the answer to this. So my fiance and his fiance or his current wife, sorry.
Watch that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, watch that. Yeah, sorry. They were both bartenders at a golf course, and they were told, like everyone else learns on whatever,
Yeah.
tilt the glass, But then I was told recently that that's wrong because then all the carbonation fills up in your stomach as opposed to on the top. Is that correct?
Releasing. Yeah, I've heard that too. I don't know. I'm kind of old school, I guess.
Yeah.
I was always taught, pour it on the side, and then once you get about a third of it left, then just let her rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because you do want some head formation on your beer.
Absolutely.
Because you have a lot of aroma being concentrated in there. So, and you are releasing more carbonation, so you don't get the burps too bad.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
Would you say that it changes the taste of the beer if you do pour it in a crappy way and it ends up foaming up too much?
You'll just have less carbonation.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. So it's going to change. It's going to
more.
change your mouthfeel, right?
Yeah.
It won't be as
Spicy.
prickly.
Yeah.
Prickly.
Prickly's a good word.
That's a good word. We're going to use that.
Yeah, prickly.
All right. Well, from the looks of before we do our review, obviously.
Yeah.
Looks of the can. We always do a review like this. So 0 to 1 can design, 1 to 3 can description, and 1 to 6 to balance the rest of it out for a full 1 to 10 ratio is taste. So 1 to 10, what are we thinking on can design? I think it's simple. I think it's elegant. I think it's 0 to 1. Sorry.
Facts. I'm gonna give it a solid 0.8.
I agree.
Solid 0.8.
The only thing we like, or the main thing we do like, is that pairs well with.
That
Well,
always brings it up.
it's great beer, no fuss. So that was
It's great beer, no
intentionally
fuss.
left off. Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Well, since he said that, now it kind of changes my mindset on it all.
And I did design it, so no pressure.
So it's a 3.
I'll give it a 0.9. I'll go 0.9. Yeah. So we'll go. You're going to give it a 1.
Sure.
1 out of 1. So we'll go 0.9 average.
You know what? I'll go 0.9. I'll go
0.9 with you?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel you. Because if it was perfect, you'd have to aim for perfection every time.
Exactly. No, ideally, this would be printed and it would, go all the way up. But
this is just,
Printed
right off the rack,
Oh, I get what you're saying.
yeah. So we label most of our cans.
Okay.
So we have blank white cans, like the one you have right there, and then we label over, and we have blank black cans, and then we just label over it. So it just gives us more flexibility. We don't have to have a lot of inventory of printed cans on hand. So, but obviously there's more cost involved. Now you're putting a label on a can. So hopefully this takes off. This will be releasing right when the podcast comes out. So,
Beautiful.
And it's going statewide.
That's
really
awesome.
dope.
Yeah.
So do you think this is going to be like the beer that like takes y'all a little bit further than where y'all have been?
I got real. I'm very cautiously optimistic about this beer.
Yeah.
One, it's just a stupid crushable beer.
Yeah.
Two, it's really well made. Not to be patting ourselves on the back, but we make really good beer.
Yeah.
And I think the price point is very inflation aware, right?
Yeah,
So
that's very true.
Absolutely.
And we have it in a 12-pack, so
Beautiful.
even more bang for your
Can't go
buck.
wrong.
Yeah.
Even the harder alcoholics.
You know what? That actually might be. My wedding's coming up in 43 days. Got it down to a daily count now. Might have to buy a couple 12-packs.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
back.
You know what I mean? Well, let's try this sucker.
Yeah. See what we're working with.
Give it a little pinkies, boys. That is great beer, no fuss.
That is great.
There ain't no fuss with that.
No.
Yeah.
I can see you right through there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like you said,
Crystal
I'm not dogging on it or anything by any means, but like you said, it's not the coldest that it could be by any means,
Correct.
but it's
Yeah.
still very good, very flavorful.
Yeah.
It's very light. It doesn't take, I don't feel like I'm going to be having a food baby afterwards
Right.
or anything like that.
What we need to do. So a recurring guest of ours, my buddy Ryder. He's our main. What's the word?
He's our main writer.
He's our main drunkard.
yeah.
That's what we call him.
Sure.
I want to know how many of these he could put down.
Oh, there you go.
Before
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
feeling it.
You know what I mean?
And at 4.5,
4.5.
yeah, that's pretty
He
good.
could put away, dude. I've seen him put away 30, not blink an eye, and then take one drag of a cigarette on his ass. Nice. Like that one cigarette, bro. Like kicked it into gear.
That's what did it.
And he, bro, like that man's different. He's built different.
Do you pair your beers with anything? Like, are you a big cigar smoker or anything like that? Do you pair it with any food that you like or? Or maybe a guilty pleasure that you like pairing beer with?
What's something
You
weird?
say ice cream.
Yeah, what's something weird?
What's something weird?
What's something weird?
Oh, like
and
this would pair well with
yeah.
pickled herring.
Yeah.
You are Belgian. That makes
It
sense.
would actually pair really well with pickled herring.
Yeah, I'm
That's
Swedish. I know you're Swedish. I'm Norwegian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we like that lutefisk.
Yeah,
Yeah, lutefisk. We don't. Have you ever had or heard of lutefisk?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's very disgusting, man. It's like a rubbery gelatin fish. Absolutely awful.
Yeah, don't go.
I want to go to Iceland and do the fermented shark.
Never heard of that.
Oh yeah,
And you do it paired well with, and people are gonna be like, "What the frick?"
pairs well with fermented shark.
Yeah, they're gonna be like,
Where am I
Yeah.
supposed to get this?
be
Amazon
like,
doesn't sell this.
Lakewood Temptress pairs well with fermented shark.
That's right.
How would you? Some of these, I'm like legit look, and I'm like, how would he even know?
That's very true.
But all right, taste test. So description:
Description.
3 out of 3. It's great beer, no fuss.
Great beer, no fuss.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it an inflated. You know, we like to be honest. You know, we're the Keith Lee of beers. Can't go wrong with that. I go with full 3 on description. It's great beer, no fuss. 4.5%. You know,
After hearing him describe it as what does it pair well with? Just Texas.
Texas.
I'm gonna give him a 2.9 because we haven't scored any beer perfect yet, and I feel like there's gonna be
No. This
one
is,
of his out there.
This is just description.
You know.
Yeah. Now taste. 1 to 6. Where you going?
1 to 6. I'm gonna have to go a strong 5.5 on this.
See, again, with great beer, no fuss is there's nothing that I've had, and again, brutally honest, that wows me about it.
Yeah.
Other than
I could drink 12
I
of them
enjoy
and be
that you
okay.
make it as opposed to whatever big company,
Sure.
Bushweiser or whatever.
Right.
So I'm gonna go 5.2.
I could drink about 12 of these.
I could.
Honestly.
I could.
Yeah, this is one that I would have on the boat with me. You know, on the lake.
Absolutely.
Could drink multiple.
Yeah.
This is a cookout beer.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
cookout beer. It's a concert beer. It's a beer for when you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't have to
working
think
beer.
about it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's uncomplicated, and that's kind of the brand position on this.
Yeah.
You know, it's great beer, no fuss. We just have the fucking beer, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's just a beer.
It's
Just a beer, dude.
Right.
If you could see a
Yeah.
beer on a commercial,
nothing-
Like
and be
don't try and pick it apart. Go enjoy your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're not looking for a review.
Yeah.
Just sip it
Just like it.
and get the F
It's fun.
off.
It's great.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about like your thought formation and thought process behind like each one of these beers because a lot of
Yeah.
people, you know, when they go to the grocery store, they're gonna go look at a beer and be like, okay, that's cool. But there's
Right.
just a whole background to it, and just do you feel that kind of like separated you from the others when you were first starting out, or what do you feel kind of separated?
Well, I think in the beginning, right? Let's go back to the late aughts, early tens, when craft beer was sort of beginning and coming of age, right? And growing. There was a lot of education that needed to be done because it was, oh shit, this stuff's in a can. Well, I don't like cans. I like bottles.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I don't want it to
Taste better in bottles.
Taste better in a bottle.
Yeah.
I don't want it to taste like a tin can. Well, that's just, that's old way of thinking.
Yeah.
Right? Like can technology has improved since the
Right.
1970s.
Absolutely.
So,
I hope.
anyway, there was, people were, what's an IPA? What's a Kolsch? What's a Saison? What's this? What's that? So there was a lot of education that you had to do.
Right.
And that's why a lot of our beer started out with, here's the glass that you put it in. Here's the temperature that you serve it at. Here's the stuff that you can eat with it.
Yeah.
Here's here's a little description of it. I think as the beer drinker has evolved and aged, you don't need to do as much of that on the can. Now, you can go much deeper, like on a website or on social and things like that, right? But as technology has evolved, we've come up with different ways to tell the story,
Right.
right?
Right.
Podcasts weren't a thing when we started 12 years ago.
That's very true.
It's
So
now flourishing.
yeah, and now it's a thing.
Very cool. I'm with it. So overall rating, what are you thinking?
What would we do there? You did a what for the description?
I did a 0.8.
No,
point, 0.9 for the description. We rose it to 0.9 after you
Yep,
said
that's right.
made for Texas.
Made for Texas.
That hit right at home. You know what I'm saying?
Feels nice. Feels perfect.
Yeah.
We did what 2.9 on can can description. So can design was 0.9.
Mm-hmm.
Can description was 2.9. So that's 3.8. And then you did a 5.5 and I did a 5.2.
So 5.4.
6 for you, I assume.
Of course.
I will abstain from the vote.
All right. So 5.4 plus 3.8 is 9.2.
That's a very high rating.
I'll take it.
That's probably
one of the highest
That's probably
ratings.
the top 10, honestly.
It's a top 3, I think, man. I think 9.4 might be our biggest one, and it's actually your
Nice.
Temptress.
Yeah.
No, the pumpkin spice.
Oh, pumpkin spice latte?
Yeah, that's
Temptress?
the one that was like I think our top one.
It's pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
This one was actually pretty ranked up there as well. So I'm
goddess?
really,
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how we're gonna do that.
New hops.
Yeah, we normally only try one beer on the podcast, so trying 3 is going to be, or 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna be stumbling out of here. That's okay.
Well, we have more glassware. You don't have to finish it.
Oh, beautiful.
We'll get a sunburst. Next, we're gonna go with sunburst.
Thank you, sir.
There you go, Wim.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So this one's fresh off the line. These were canned today.
Beautiful.
Dang, man.
You guys have
Fresh.
already had some.
Yeah, we cannot lie.
some lidless ones.
Jake and I have already indulged in the wonders of sunburst.
We'll skip the ASMR on this one. Go straight to the review. You know, we got questions to ask. This one's just a pretty color.
Yeah. Sunshine in a glass.
Yeah. All right, let's look here. We got Brew Love is True Love. The Sunburst American Wheat Ale pairs well with Stone. Why don't you tell us?
Feta. I do like a good feta. Spring rolls. I had some spring rolls last night in sweet new shades. Boy.
Hell yeah, brother.
Jake's got some sweet new shades on, man.
These ain't shades, boy. I don't even know what they are. Brewed with malted wheat, a touch of hops, and our house ale yeast. Sunburst wheat is crafted to be a crisp and refreshing beer for fun in the sun or shade.
Or shade.
It's a nice color.
5.5% alcohol by volume. It is a very pretty color. It's giving me, if I were to look at this and guess what it would taste like, orange is the first thing that crosses the
I was
mind.
gonna say like a lemon.
Lemon.
Like a
Citrus.
Yeah, citrusy. Maybe not.
You ready?
Cheers.
Pinkies. Oh man, the fact that that's 1% more than that one blows my mind. Because I could just inhale those.
Yeah. Also crushable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It does
Crushable.
have a.
I like
Correct
that.
me if I'm wrong. It does have a little bit of a citrus note to it, and just the taste like a sort of like a lemony type taste to it. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Maybe.
Just a sour taste.
There's no citrus in it.
There's no.
Um,
Dang.
wheat can give you a little bit of a tang.
Yeah.
Like a tiny little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's just a straight up no fuss American wheat, easy drinking, from March to September.
Absolutely.
I gotta say.
This, if you put this in the freezer for like 15 minutes and pulled this sucker out and just pop that sucker
Even
open.
George is nodding his head over
Yeah.
here. And George is the least fan of beer out of all of us.
George has knocked some of our ratings down
Yeah.
because of some reviews, man. Like, yeah, but
Okay,
he
though.
likes this
Yeah,
one.
He's a big fan.
He likes this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm game. I have to say, taste-wise, I like this one a little bit better than the Stubs, just
agree.
because it gives me a little bit of a tangy nature to it. And maybe it's just me personally. Maybe I got something in the back of my throat.
I dig it. All right, no, hear me out, right, real quick. This is a quick pitch. All right, we talked about this like five, six times. We'd like to get on a business venture with you. It's called the On the Road beer. No, Rogue beer. I don't know. We're trying to figure out a name. So, the little nicotine pouches, like Zins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Rogue pouches. So
would
we
be
want to do a beer that has one neutral flavor. You can sell it in bulk, and it doesn't change. Like, you just one flavor.
Right.
But when you put a Zin in, it's paired with it. And it enhances the beer to where you got a mint Zin in. Oh, you got a little mint beer. Oh, you got a fruit punch Zin in. Oh, it's a little minty. You got a coffee Zin in. Oh, now it's like a Temptress. Something along the lines of that technology where that saliva from the Zin mixes with the saliva from the beer. And all you got to do is sell one beer, but you just sell the different. It pairs well with.
There you go.
I've never
that
had
a
saliva
moneymaker?
in my beer.
We can talk about it.
All right, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it
Yeah.
off camera,
Off camera. Yeah, later.
which we know what that means.
Yeah.
It was a stupid ass idea.
I don't know. This was Jake's idea.
Yeah, this wasn't our idea. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right. So can design 0 to 1.
I mean, you gave me the pairs well with.
I'm gonna give it a 1.
I'm going 1. I'm going full 1.
Going full 1.
Yep. All right, so we got a 1 on that.
Description on feta.
I think it goes well
Spring
with feta,
rolls.
spring rolls, new shades.
I do feel like I could be rocking like a new pair of Oakleys in it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oakleys, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Ray-Bans. These aren't.
No, we're not pretend. No, I'm just kidding. Anyone who wears Ray-Bans, that's okay.
Careful, Wim might wear Ray-Bans.
Do you?
No.
Okay, good.
See, we're good.
I wear Pradas. Talk about pretentious.
Oh, sorry.
Woof.
Yikes.
Bougie badass. over here.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Personally, I'm not getting yeast or hops with it. It's just light. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's my palate.
I don't know.
Do you getting hops? Typically, when I think hops, I automatically think resin, pine.
Oh, there's
So many
a
different hops.
touch of hops, like a salt bay of hops in this beer. It's very, very, very light on hops. So there's barely any bitterness in this beer.
I'm going.
I don't taste any
Anyway,
bitterness.
No?
I think it's very. If I tried this not reading what it was, I would probably think it was like closer to a sour ale. Just because, like, I really am just getting like heavy notes of lemon.
Yeah.
But again, he said that could be the wheat. I don't know.
you know what this is to me?
Maybe it's
Not taking
maybe
away
it's
from
the
it.
Rogue.
Right.
Honestly.
This is from comparing it, which is not good, but it's like a Leinenkugel with summer shandy without the lemon. That lightness, that's what I'm comparing it to.
Sure.
That lightness, take away the lemon. Because Leinenkugel summer shandy is very potent with lemon.
Right.
Take that away, and this is
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's meant to be, right? I mean, it's a wheat beer. It's lower in alcohol. I mean, it's 5.5, so it's not nothing. But
you can crush it, but you'll get crushed.
yeah. But man, poolside,
Absolutely.
100%.
So I'm gonna go
100%.
1 to 3, 2.7. Beer description.
I'll match it 2.7.
Okay. Taste. I'm going full. I'm not going full 6. Can't go.
I'm
full
gonna
6.
go 5.8.
That's what I was gonna say. So we got 3.6, 5.9, 9.4.
9.4.
Look at you.
Matches
Done.
at the top.
Can you look at that? You giving us a round of applause?
I'm an
over
A
there?
student.
A+ student. See?
Golly.
We knew he was smart.
We knew
Knew
he was
it.
smart.
That's cool. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ham on these in the summer. We're just gonna
Absolutely.
have a Yeti full of sunbursts.
That's right.
Just pull it out. Just have like a glowing video.
That's right. Yep. And we're gonna at you.
Yep. Be
We're
good
gonna
to
at
go.
you. Well,
to-
do we have any more? We got more questions.
We gotta.
We gotta do another one.
Do we want to taste
Do it
this
now.
last beer?
You wanna do it now?
I
Let's
don't
do it
have
now.
to. Can?
Let's do it now.
do it
Makes
now.
makes the questions more interesting later.
Heck
That's
yeah.
very true.
Perfect.
Questions are always. Oh, that's true. I don't know. I
man's
kind of
came
want to.
prepared.
Kind of want to finish
Oh,
this.
shoot. Almost was a mess. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we got Goddess.
Beautiful.
While we're getting this
Goddess.
out, quick question for you. What's a misconception about a brewery, a common misconception about a brewery or a brewer that you feel on a daily basis that you want to debunk?
Well, I think for us as a brewery, I think everyone just thinks that we make Temptress all day long.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Temptress keeps the lights on and is our #1 seller.
And it's amazing.
And we're very proud of it. And all the Seduction Series beers are fantastic. And, we have a lot of fun with those. But we make amazing Pilsners, seasonals, wheats, IPAs. We're more than... I think breweries can get kind of pigeonholed into a style just because of what they're known for.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that would be the misconception.
I got you.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I feel that.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
I like it.
On to Goddess.
Absolutely. Will she?
I do love these designs.
Oh my
man.
God.
I know.
I
Yeah.
do love them.
Ben over there. Wim over there. I do that all the time.
They smell pretty good.
I've referenced you probably like 6 times on our podcast, and I always say Ben, and I'm like, it's Wim. Does that happen quite often?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Good. I'm not alone.
It happens.
Dude, this smells fire.
This smells absolutely insane.
You said this is
You get it.
upgraded hops?
Immediately, you get it.
Yeah.
Taste is something else. Like it's good.
Oh, dude.
That's amazing.
Dude.
I take the Rogue out, man. I keep messing up.
So we got the Goddess Hazy India Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out.
Yep.
Last February, our first beer review.
Yeah.
This man, I was not as involved. I was like, all right, I might like enjoy a nice IPA from time to time. My freaking guilty pleasure is Guinness, all day, every day. What was your go-to a year ago?
Michelob Ultra.
Michelob Ultra.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
So when we started this, we started from the basement. Like I was like maybe 2 steps from the basement.
Yeah,
working our
sure.
way up to the first floor.
Sure.
The fact that we've reviewed now probably 60 some odd different.
Yeah, definitely over 55. So we this will be our 50th episode. This is our 50th
this is our 50th
special.
episode.
So
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so and there were a few that we didn't release, so we've probably tried over 55 beers by now. And
Nice.
dude. It's crazy how my palate has just kind of changed. I'll go in and I'll be like actually very interested to be like, hey, so just kind of inform me a little bit about what you got over here. And sometimes they don't know worth a lick, and then other times they'll be like, yeah, man, like it's it's very hoppy, or it's kind of more like on the sour side or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
So it's just it's fun to be able to try new things and appreciate new things and kind of dive into a whole new culture. Because I mean, that's what you guys really are, kind of your whole or your own culture or your own kind of little group.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's been fun, man. I've partaken in quite a few dark beers, and I never thought I would like them. And they
Nice.
it was insane.
First 5 episodes, an IPA to Stone was piney. And now he's so descriptive and so like
Occasionally.
his palate has just and even when we go out to like for the Super Bowl or just to like hang out, because like so he's my future brother-in-law.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, it's a sad life.
sucks.
But so we hang out like quite often.
Sure.
And this man would go from grabbing a shit, I don't know, tequila and soda or a Michelob to the man's looking at the taps. What you got on tap? And then he knows what he's talking about, and that's just it's beautiful to see, man.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see.
That's awesome. No, I think that, look, good on you guys for diving in head first, right?
for sure.
I mean, for going from being a domestic drinker, right?
Yeah.
To trying new things, right? I mean, life's too short to drink the same beer all the time, right?
And there's too many just like breweries around here to not partake in
Absolutely.
something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it.
Well, and the fact just like we went from like never even partaking in craft beer like often to being like, does the future hold a 2 beers brew? Does it? Does it? Like, you never know. Like, it might be something that we dive into. I mean,
a very piney beer.
I think it'd be fun.
Very skunky beer.
Be skunky. It'd be like
Skunky
the first
piney.
beer that you tried at your home brew.
There you go.
Exactly. I'm curious to know. I know I've asked you this before personally, but what is your favorite beer that you've probably brewed in the past year?
In the past year?
I won't go all time because I know that's a lot, but in the past year.
To be fully transparent, I don't brew beer here
That's
anymore.
Yeah. That's okay.
I
You tell people to brew beer.
I've been upgraded to spreadsheets.
Sick.
Yes.
So life's kind of come full circle. I started at a desk job and I left the desk job because I didn't want a desk job. I wanted to work in a more manual, hands-on job.
Right.
And then now I'm behind a desk most of the day. But I do have a standing desk now. So
There we go.
How much do you feel that helps like your productivity?
The standing desk?
Yeah. Or do you just like it just because
It
you
helps
don't like sitting?
it helps my sciatica.
There we go.
It helps my back.
Fair enough.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm 46, so I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And standing desk would recommend 5 stars.
I'm with it.
I don't understand the people that do treadmill and standing desk because
I want to do that.
I can't.
That's
type.
like my
I
next
feel
thing.
Like I can't type. How am I gonna?
I want to give it a go.
Okay.
I want to give it a go. It might be a very quick Amazon return, but I want to give it a go.
That's okay. Do it.
That's what that's for. That's what that 14-day return policy
That's right.
is all for.
That's right.
Dude, they have it's like 60 days around Christmas. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
God. Do you use Amazon quite often? You
I
a big
mean,
Amazon fan?
I live in the world.
That's fair.
He's like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some
not
people that
sheltered.
keep Amazon in business, and then some people that'll order it for their
mom?
occasional. Yeah, my mom, dude, she probably has an Amazon package every 2 hours showing up. It's ridiculous. I hate it.
Yeah. It's when you have when you got kids and a busy life, it's
It's easy too.
it's easy. It's pushing the easy button, unfortunately.
That's okay though.
But it is what it is.
I'm with it. All right, so let's get to
Oh, this is the Pink Boots Society. So what's the Pink Boots Society?
Yeah.
Give
So
us a filler.
so Pink Boots Society is a nonprofit that supports women and non-binary people in the craft brew. I'm gonna freaking butcher it. It helps people.
That's okay. Yeah, for
It makes people read more good.
We donate to the society for reading.
Oh boy, no. Pink Boots Society. No, it's Pink Boots Society is a great organization. They're a national organization. They have chapters throughout the U.S. They have, I think, 4 or 5 here in Texas, and they release a proprietary hop blend once a year that you can then purchase. And then what they request is that you basically give back whatever the proceeds are.
That's cool.
Like if we were to do it in the tap room and make 5 kegs, all the proceeds that come from the sales of that beer goes back to the Pink Boots Society to help them support women and non-binary individuals with education to further their careers in craft brewing or distilling or wineries in the alcoholic beverage world. If you go back into the production, especially, it's very, very male dominant. Mm-hmm. So, it's I think it's a great organization to create more diversity and inclusion in craft brewing. So I think it's a great organization. So what we decided to do last year when we released this beer about a year ago, we're like, hey, we want to do this. We didn't necessarily use their proprietary blend because we wanted to make this a year-round beer and not just a one-off. Mm-hmm. So what we said is, look, we're going to donate a percentage of the sales of Goddess to the local chapters around Texas. That's cool. So the sales that happen in DFW go to the DFW chapter. In San Antonio goes to their chapter, Austin, Houston, so forth. Mm-hmm. Now that we've come up on a year, and kind of keeping with the theme of the Pink Boots, they change their hop blend every year. We decided to change our hop blend for coming up on the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary of Goddess. So we came out with a beer. We're always doing fun stuff on the pilot system, right? We have 24 taps. 6 to 8 of them here are usually stuff that's tap room only that we're experimenting with. That might be a pilot for the next seasonal, something that we're just brewing just for fun, or hey, we have extra ingredients, let's do a smash beer, or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. We made a beer I think 2 or 3 months ago. It was called Velvet Veil. Hazy IPA. Our brewer Ashton found some really, really cool combination of hops. That thing sold like it was going out of business in the tap room. Like we blew through 7 kegs in like a couple of weeks.
Dang.
Like it was just gone.
And what would be like average? How many kegs would you go through in a couple of weeks?
I mean, we have 24. We have 24 taps, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Plus cans, plus wine, plus cider. So we're, if we're going through on average a keg a week, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
7.
And we went through 7 in a couple. Like it was it was flying out the door. So we're like, okay, well, we're onto something here.
Right.
So we took that hop blend that we used in Velvet Veil and we now introduced it into Goddess. And this will be the hop blend for 2024 in Goddess until next spring when, we might change it again.
That's awesome.
Well, it's fire.
It is. Yeah. It's a little bit more, again,
Piney?
We're working on our terminology, but I'm going to say a little bit creamier than the other two, just because it leaves, I wouldn't say a film by any means, but it feels a little bit thicker in your mouth.
Yeah, so
Pause.
Hazy IPAs are brewed with oats. Mm-hmm. Oats will add to the sort of creamy texture of the Hazy IPA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nice.
Very cool information.
Yeah, so Hazy IPAs actually this beer saw 0 hops in the kettle, 0 hops in the whirlpool. So this was brewed with no hops. All the hops that we put into this are during fermentation.
Wow.
That's it. It's amazing. And then you have what's called biotransformation happening. So on a chemical level, the polyphenols and all the flavor compounds that are in the hops are reacting with the fermentation process, and the yeast is actually using those chemicals to produce other chemicals. So something that might go in and have like a catty sort of aroma, right? Like a skunky aroma, will come out through that biotransformation as pineapple.
What?
Yeah, it's fascinating. Read about biotransformation of hops, especially in hazy IPAs. It's fascinating stuff. And I'm not a chemist, so I'm probably I'm giving you the 30,000 foot view level. That's okay. But that's what gives it this really unique character. You don't have any bitterness, right? Because none of it's being extracted by heat, because hops are hydrophobic, so you have to heat them to denature the resin.
Right.
So all the hop flavor, all of these funky, fun, tropical, fruity aromas are all coming from the biotransformed hop.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that something new that y'all just kind of implemented, or
we've been doing hazies on and off on a sort of a limited basis for I'd say about 4 or 5 years. But this is, Goddess is our first year-round hazy. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
All right. I think we should get to the rating.
Yeah, absolutely. We've rated it once, but we're going to rate it again.
Did we?
Upgraded hops. We have.
I thought you were talking about just now. I was like, no way.
No, yeah.
I didn't have that many.
Where was I?
Wait a minute. We didn't rate that already?
Oh, there's also a lot of weed in that beer.
Right. I'm going to make you a little forgetful. Have you ever, this is a curious question.
Yeah.
Have you ever brewed a beer specifically, I don't know your take on it or anything, but specifically paired well with cannabis or things of that nature?
No. But like a Cheetos beer would be pretty dope.
Heck yeah.
That would be kind of sick.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
but I think, you could do an entire different podcast on cannabis, and cannabis beverages, but I think, that's definitely something that we're keeping our eye on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Just because of the potential market that's there? Or
Yeah,
just your interest in it?
Potential market. We came out with Hydro this year, which is our hop water.
We are a big fan of that,
Oh,
actually.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Hydro does not have any THC or CBD or anything in it. It is literally just water and hops.
Yeah.
So non-alcoholic, 0 calories, etc., gluten-free. But I could see down the line a little line extension off of Hydro.
That'd be kind of cool.
Hydro Delta 9, Delta.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe the two.
Is there any talk about that, like among breweries or among the state, like with breweries, of just making that legal or possible? Or
Well, you drive around Dallas.
That's fair.
You can throw a rock and hit a dispensary at this point.
It's very true.
Right.
It's very true.
So it's here.
Yeah.
The lawmakers may not call it marijuana, but I see the plants growing in the window.
Yeah. That's very true.
If that ain't it.
Yeah.
I don't know what is.
I'll tell you what.
Well, if it smells like a duck and it smokes like a duck.
Hey, they've done a pretty good job at making Delta 9 as close to chemically the same.
It's crazy, and it's weird though, because what I heard is that that you, like, they don't really know how you get high off of Delta 9. They just know that you do. And so it's not similar to, it is similar to THC, but it's not in the fact of, they know exactly what's getting you high. It's the THC. But with the CB, or not the Delta 9, Delta 10 bars, things like that, it's just a different compound. They just don't really know how it's affecting you.
Well, it's still a cannabinoid, right?
Maybe. I don't.
Oh,
I haven't.
I haven't
We haven't dove that much into it.
Yeah.
That's what I was curious about.
Yeah.
It's like instead of, and I don't know how Delta 9 is. I just know did we have an argument about this on one episode.
We did.
We know
Those were one of those episodes that got deleted.
Yeah. It just like the difference between THC and and CBD,
Mm-hmm.
and at what point does Delta 9 strain from one or the other? The CBD obviously is the oil that is being extracted from the plant.
Mm-hmm.
THC is the physical plant itself. But then again, there's
CBD plant.
Yeah, there's a CBD plant, but then there's there's a whole new world.
Have you tried that yet? Implementing CBD into any of your beers?
Because correct me if I'm wrong, marijuana and hops are they're cousins.
They're cousins. Yeah. Yeah. They're both.
So you could, and it'd probably be pretty.
Yeah. Well, you cannot legally brew
right.
beer with THC.
Right.
Right. Because now you're
Crossfaded.
combining your sins.
Now you're crossfaded after one beer, and God,
That's kind of funny.
You're crossing the streams at that point, right?
I like crossing.
But yeah, I mean, I've had plenty of beers where I'm like, dude, did they just put weed in this thing?
Literally.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes,
but yeah, like some of those hop aromas are very, very close to some of that skunky monkey.
It's kind of like ibuprofen and methamphetamine. They're like one branch. It's like if one part of the molecule was not on the top right hexagon, it was on the bottom right, it would be meth.
That's why he's just been taking meth.
That's why I've been taking ibuprofen as much.
Skip
as
the middleman.
Yeah.
But all right, last question.
Wait, we got to rate it. We haven't
Oh,
even
that's
rated
true.
it
We haven't
yet.
even rated it. I have drank a lot of these. Can design,
Can design, solid 1 out
solid
of 1.
one. Can description,
Can description. I even rated this a solid 3 last time that we rated it, so that doesn't go down any. So we'll
we're
go
at a
3.
4. All right, so
Sweet.
1 to 6.
God, this is gonna 5.7
5 point.
because I rated the
5.9.
last one 5.6.
I'm
and
going
I liked it.
5.9.
Yeah.
This to me, this is the closest. Like, okay, so for this style of beer, this hazy India Pale Ale, it is the best I've tried, and that's no BS. Like, I used to be, the only thing I lived in Paris, Texas for like 22 years, or no, that's not true, 12 years. So the only thing I could get was Deep Ale, and there's the only place that reached out that far at the time.
Sure.
Or at least in the markets that I was buying from. So the Deep Ale IPA was the only thing I was experienced with, other than like Sierra Nevada or Fat Tire, blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
Yep.
This, no offense, kicks Deep Ale IPA's ass.
It's a different style. I will say that.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, Deep Elm IPA and Goddess are two different styles of IPA.
Yeah.
Right. So Deep Elm IPA is, I wouldn't call it a West Coast, but it's probably got some West Coast characteristics. It's got a lot of darker caramel malts in it. Goddess is pale malt, wheat, oats, and then a ridiculous amount of hops. Like when we dry hop this beer, or when we not even dry hop, when we put hops in fermentation, it takes two guys about 5 to 10 minutes dumping 40-pound buckets into this beer.
And that makes how much?
I mean, that's like a 90-barrel tank, which is 180 kegs.
So like
Which is not a lot, really.
280 kegs?
2,000.
Okay. What would be a lot?
I mean, it's all relative,
Fair.
right?
Yeah.
To me,
I mean, you got a brew pub that makes, 300 barrels of beer per year. They're probably rocking it. You got a mid-sized brewery making 10,000 barrels, but then you got, Boston Beer, Sam Adams, and they're making 7-8 million barrels per year. So, I mean,
Would you ever want to be that big?
The scale is just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
unfathomable. And then you got the Budweisers and Millers and Coors above that
Right,
that are
millions
making,
and
again,
millions.
another,
25 million.
Yeah. Would you
I'm
ever
not
want to
there.
be that big? Like, is that
No.
No.
That's not your vision.
no.
You're a very, sort of community
Community-based.
local guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're only in Texas by design.
Yeah.
We just expanded to Houston last year.
God.
So we've been around for 12 years now, and we've been DFW only for probably the first half of that. For like the first 6 years, we were only in DFW.
That's cool.
And then we started kind of expanding outward a little bit, but still just in Texas.
Do you have any plans to expand outward into, other than with Stubbs, obviously? Do you have any other plans to expand outward into other states anytime soon?
No, well, Stubbs will be Texas only, right?
Okay.
Okay.
My
yeah,
bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought there was one that you said that was going to be
Texas
nationwide.
Peels, man.
Makes
It's
sense.
got
yeah.
a little Texas on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Golly.
Lee.
I cracked it open with my spur earlier.
Lee. I'll tell you what.
Tell you what.
No, I mean, just, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Fair enough.
We've, like, Oklahoma. Yeah, but do we want to go all the way to Tulsa? No, let's just go to Choctaw.
Tulsa sucks.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's just get in the casinos.
Although Miller Lite probably overrules that Dallas Cowboy Choctaw Casino, huh? And whatever, the World Casino.
Yeah.
Windstar.
Windstar. Oh, that's not Choctaw. I'm thinking Windstar.
So, yeah, if it makes sense, we'll go. But we have to be able to support it,
Well, I think that leads us into our last question, which is if viewers should know one thing about your beer and what it represents, what would that be?
It can be a couple things. Doesn't have to be.
Okay.
one.
Yeah. So
Your mantra.
So let's go with our mantra, right?
Yeah.
It's family, creativity, community spirit, and inclusiveness. Those are the 4 pillars that our brewery was founded on. Those are the things that make Lakewood, the area of Dallas that I lived in, where the brewery got its name, where half the beers that we make were invented in my garage.
Right.
That's what that means, right? It's look, we're always going to be a family-oriented place. We're always going to have community spirit. We support the community that supports us. We will continue to be creative, and we will continue to be inclusive because beer is for everybody. I don't care
Everybody
if
and
you're
their mama.
I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, whatever.
Everything.
Yeah, we don't. This is a judgment-free zone. We're just here to enjoy company and enjoy beer.
Yeah, I think that's why we like y'all so much because that's kind of, just our thing is that it's 2 guys, a mic, and beer. Like we're sitting down, we're having a good time, and the camaraderie that you can have over beer is just unlike any other. You know what I'm saying? So conversations start to spark after about the second or third.
Exactly.
one,
Yeah.
And
And I think especially now, where everyone's so distracted by their devices and TikTok and Snapchat and whatever, right? Whatever the next thing is, that getting back to basics and connecting with your fellow human being is novel at this point.
It's very taboo.
So man. So to your listeners and your viewers, come down to the brewery.
Absolutely.
Come have a beer.
It's a beautiful
Hang out.
place, super cool spot. So just located over here, and y'all are officially in Garland, right?
We're officially in Garland. Dallas is on the other side of the street.
Right.
Literally.
Literally. That's what I thought.
So no, we're northeast Dallas. We're just east of Lake Highlands.
Very cool.
Yeah, and
cool,
just south of Richardson. And we're about 10 or 15 minutes from White Rock Lake. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Y'all come check it out.
Yeah, we love Lakewood Brewing. We love your beers. We would love. Obviously, it's your choice, but we would love to be included in the Lakewood family. But you are now included in the 2 Beers and a Mic family.
you are part of the family.
So the next time you
Welcome.
come on, you'll be a recurring guest.
See?
Love it.
We loved having you, man, and
Love
we appreciate the info, the love, the camaraderie,
It's
everything
great.
Lakewood has to offer. We love this partnership between the 2 of us.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that we can, that we'll expand on in the future. We're all best friends now. So
Best buds for life.
best buds and beers.
Let's plan a trip.
Yeah. Let's go to. Where should we go? Belgium.
Oh, yeah. Well, this was another great
Iceland. Have some
episode.
shark.
Well, this has been another. Yeah, let's go get some. What is it?
Fermented shark.
Fermented shark.
Yeah.
Yep, that will be off the record. George, cut that out. Anyway, check you later.